The Aston Martin DB5 has just been added to Rocket League. In this video, we'll go through everything related to the car, including the customization options and restrictions, the car in the garage and on the field, and the hitbox. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you my honest final thoughts. In terms of customization, this car is actually pretty bad. So with the bundle, you'll receive one decal, the real life decal. However, as you can see, it's not really a decal, it's just a plain paint job. The only difference between real life decal and no decal is that no decal can be slightly customized, and real life decal can't be customized. On the no decal option, you can customize the paint color. This adds a very slight glow to the car based on your color selections. Here's how that looks in the garage, and here's how it looks on the field. Okay, let's go through the other items. These items can't be customized at all. The wheels, topper, antenna, paint finish, and engine sound. These items can be fully customized. The boost, goal explosion, and trail. One thing to note is that, like most other licensed cars, you won't be able to use other licensed items such as the T-Rex goal explosion on this car. Additionally, you can't use the Aston Martin items on your other cars. So for example, the Aston Martin wheels cannot be used on your Octane or any other car. Here's what the Aston Martin looks like in the garage. Here's a full demo of the engine sound. And here's how it looks and sounds on the field. So the Aston Martin has an Octane hitbox, and I actually think it's not too bad. The front of the hitbox is definitely the best part. And I think probably the most important part too. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap between the front of the car and the hitbox, but it's not as bad as some other cars. The sides are not amazing. There's quite a big gap here, but I don't really think this is a huge issue. The top of the hitbox is probably the biggest problem, although not a big problem. When compared to some other cars in the game, this is definitely one of the worst in this area. Although it's still better than the Jeep Wrangler. By the way, if you ever want to test out a hitbox for yourself, and you're either not on PC or you just don't have Bacchus mod, here's how you can do that. Just go into free play, and then to look at the top of the hitbox, flip over onto your roof. To test the front of the hitbox, flip onto the nose, and flip onto the tail to test the back of the hitbox. When you do this, you'll be able to see the gap between the car and the ground, or you'll be able to see the car clipping through the ground. Okay, now to my honest thoughts on this car. So the biggest disappointment for me is that this car isn't really customizable. I was really hoping that we would be able to customize the decal at least, and maybe be able to use the wheels on some of our other cars. And I think it's really disappointing that we can't. I don't really know why Epic is insisting on placing all these kinds of restrictions on licensed cars, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the agreements that they're making with companies like Universal and all the other companies that own these cars. I guess it's something that they have to do, but it's something that the community really doesn't like, and I can't imagine that anyone wants these kinds of restrictions. So unfortunately, I think it's probably a sign of things to come in Rocket League. I think we're going to end up with a lot of cars in the game that are just not very customizable. Other than that, I do like the car. I think it's beautiful. It looks really good in the garage and it looks pretty good on the field as well. So I wouldn't say that I hate it. I think it is something that I'll probably use from time to time, but it definitely won't be my main car. I'm still definitely a DeLorean and Fennec main. The engine sound is probably one of my favorite parts of this car. Engine sounds are quite important to me, which you'd probably know if you've been following me for a while. I know some people play with sound off or they play with music on, but I never do this. I pretty much always play with just the Rocket League sound on. I don't play with in-game music or anthems or anything like that, but I always am listening to the engine sounds. So this is really important for me. And I love it. I think it's a really natural, just cool, kind of chilled out engine sound. So yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the car. Maybe the engine sound and the wheels. I really love the wheels as well. And the price, I think 1100 credits is probably a little bit expensive. The fact that we really don't get anything with the car, we only get that one decal that's not even really a decal, and then we get wheels that you can't use on any other car. I think, yeah, 1100 is probably too expensive. The fact that the Jeep Wrangler and the T-Rex Goal Explosion were also 1100, and you got, you know, the Goal Explosion's like most of that value, so I'm quite disappointed in the price. I think it would have been better for maybe 800 credits. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you like this car? What do you think of the restrictions? Do you think they're too heavy? Or let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.